The black panther is a case of mutation, due to which the color of the predatory large cat becomes much darker than the usual ones of its species. That is, it is not a different species, but simply predatory cats which outwardly differ from its relatives. Interestingly enough, black panthers are born in two species that are thousands of miles or thousands of kilometers apart: leopards that live in Africa and Asia, as well as jaguars that live in South America. Although these cats may seem similar because of their spotted color, in fact they are not very similar to each other at all. The jaguar is much larger, it also differs in physique, and there are black dots inside its spots. The leopard is smaller, tighter, more elegant, and its spots look like rings or solid black dots. The black leopard is no anatomically different from the usual one. There is an opinion that they can become more aggressive, but it's not confirmed by facts and research. And they can also look a little bit different. There are individuals whose skin is really almost black. And there are leopards whose fur is dark brown, and then black spots will stand out perfectly against its background. In any case, the unusual color does not prevent either leopards or jaguars from disguising themselves in the jungle. Maybe it even helps. Therefore, if white tigers and lions hardly survive in nature due to difficulties with laying to the victim, then black spotted cats, on the contrary, are successful predators. When the black panther goes out to fight, it looks epic, as if a piece of the night got claws and fangs. This leopard underestimated the aggression of a black relative who came to drive him away from his territory. The black panther was so brave that he decided to arrange a fight right in the crown of a tree at a very great height. A large adult hyena is larger than a teenage leopard. When a pair of spotted predators wanted to take away her food, the hyena decided not to run away and not defend herself, but to attack and eat the leopard. This was a mistake. Although the young cat is inferior to the mother hyena in size, its strength should not have been underestimated. The leopard repulsed the aggressor with powerful blows of its paws and alone coped with her attack. Meanwhile, the second leopard stole the food. The teamwork is 100% effective. And this is despite the fact that after having finally matured, leopards usually live independently and do not unite in groups. Maybe in vain? If the leopard played role-playing games, he would probably choose his characters assassins or ninjas. And it's not just a phenomenal talent to disappear from under the noses of enemies. It's about pragmatism. While the lion goes into a frontal attack on the opponent, wolves fight in whole packs, and tigers attack bears. The leopards avoid wasting energy. He's not lazy, just why bother when it's not necessary? Therefore, if a competitor tries to take away prey, and there are no trees nearby, the leopard may well throw lunch and run away so as not to fight. But this is not cowardice, but calculation. Don't you believe it? This hyena also thought that the leopard would run away. She underestimated the enemy and made a fatal mistake. Without the cover of a dozen more relatives, the hyena itself is a tasty prey for this pragmatic assassin from the world of wildlife. It doesn't even look like a fight. Against a cruel and strong leopard, one hyena is simply helpless. The main trump card of the leopard is his ability and agility combined with an incredible ability to sneak up. These impalas felt safe. And you can understand them. They can run so fast that only a cheetah can catch up with them, and then with great difficulty and with all the effort. And in terms of maneuverability, they have no equal among mammals at all. The impala is able to turn 180 degrees on the run with almost no loss of speed, jump over the pursuer, dodge the claws of a predator for a fraction of a second before impact. Impala eyes, like many ungulates, are located on the side of the head for better coverage. The field of view of this ungulate is much better than that of most animals. This feature allows you to notice the threat in advance, even if it creeps up from the back. You could literally see what's behind your shoulder blade if you had such an eyesight. But you know what? The leopard doesn't care about all these advantages. The impala just didn't know who was hiding in these thickets. If the leopard is within striking distance, the impala's speed no longer matters. How did he manage to sneak up so close if the impala sees what is behind her back? Disguising a leopard is almost an art. He becomes almost invisible thanks to his spotted skin, and, most importantly, the ability to freeze with his whole body and not move for a very long time. And when the leopard is already close enough, a single jump, and he breaks the impala's spine or wrings his neck with one crushing jerk. The leopard is a master of ambushes. But what happens if someone tries to sneak up on him? This lion saw a competitor who decided to get a nap. The lion is about 3 times more massive and much stronger, so if he catches a leopard, he can deal with it within a few minutes. So now the lion's task is to sneak up on the spotted competitor unnoticed. A step, another step, then another, and now the leopard is within striking distance. Are you worried about him, or do you wish good luck to the Leo? Who are you rooting for in this case? It seems that in a second, the King of Beasts will be celebrating victory, but at the very last moment, the leopard wakes up, and now the sharp, powerful claws of the leopard are already flying into the lion's eyes. He doesn't want a long fight. A lightning-fast, furious rebuff to knock down the attacking rush of the enemy, and the leopard is already fleeing. His life was hanging by a thread, but excellent reflexes and a bit of luck saved the leopard. The lion just didn't know who he was messing with. Even during sleep, the leopard remains vigilant. A whole column of people and cars impresses any predator. Even a pack of hyenas is afraid to approach a large cluster of 2-legged loud creatures that could also be armed. Wild animals know that you need to be afraid of loud cars, guns, and people who deal with all of this. Therefore, a noisy and numerous team of people was not afraid of anyone, just like their pets. It turned out in vain. The usual composure and pragmatism that is inherent in leopards completely denies them when it comes to dogs. For some mysterious reason, spotted cats fiercely hate dogs and try to deal with them at every opportunity. Neither hyenas nor lions dared to attack a group of people, although they clearly had a lot of food that could be taken away. The leopard has dared more than once. The camera lens often shows cases when a leopard risks himself and enters cities, enters a yard, or even a residential building to track down and grab a dog. Moreover, large individuals do not frighten him, but only tease him. During such outings, the leopard pursues only one goal: to deal with the dog that allowed itself to enter the territory of a predator because it thought that people would protect it. The leopard does not care about the danger so much that he is able to attack the dog right under the feet of armed people or under the door of their home. In order to sneak up unnoticed, the leopard in such cases has to use all his skills. But it looks epic. The leopard seems to appear out of nowhere, as if he had opened some kind of portal, and immediately rushes into battle to have time to strangle the dog before people even realize what happened. Surprisingly, this is not a strange habit of one individual, but the behavior of virtually the entire species. Such episodes of brazen and desperate attacks on dogs are found from time to time throughout the habitat of leopards. Sometimes the spotted cat manages to cope with the enemy, sometimes the dog is successfully rescued, but in any case, the leopard has a hard time. To get into the environment, to give yourself away, to cause fear and anger among a lot of armed people is a so-so plan. Regardless of whether the attack on the dog was successful, saving your own skin after that is still a task. But as you can see, the leopard is willing to take any risk. What do you think this is related to? Let us know in the comments. Maybe you have the answer to the riddle. Probably, kangaroos seem cute to us because they are at the same time very different from us, and at the same time, thanks to the habit of standing straight and grabbing objects with their front paws hands, they are somewhat similar to us. Here too, although a dog is a friend of a person, you involuntarily begin to worry about the kangaroo. After all, the dog has already driven him into the water. So what will happen to the boar marsupial? It turns out that there is nothing wrong. He is not as defenseless as it may seem at first glance. It seems that going into the water is a part of his insidious plan. With one sharp movement, the kangaroo grabs the dog and begins to drown him. It seems as if an ordinary hunting scene has turned into a thriller. The kangaroo lifts its head away from the water, but its grip does not weaken, so the animal really resembles some kind of negative character who revealed his true nature at the very last moment. The dog, however, manages to escape, but it isn't likely that he will hunt kangaroos now. Probably this cobra was expecting an easy hunt when it got into the yard to people. Well, there are no mongooses nearby, nor is there a man with a gun. This means that both the chickens and their mother hen will become easy prey. Perhaps the snake thought so too, but he was wrong. The chicken decided that this yard needed a new hero. Some of them don't wear capes. They cackle and fuss, but at the right moment, they are the first to attack a dangerous enemy. It was this feat that was accomplished by the simplest chicken, which did not even try to take its offspring away from the yard. Instead, the self-confident bird calmly approaches the cobra, which could have stopped the heart of an adult elephant with just one bite. The snake is already shocked by this impudence, but this is just the beginning. Now the chicken will give such a beating to the reptile that the cobra will forever forget the way to this yard. Let the bird cannot resist the snake's venom, it still needs to be bitten. The chicken acts unexpectedly nimbly and leaves the cobra no chance to inflict a dangerous bite. Lions and tigers are different species, but they belong to the same family, the panthers. And although the structure of the skull and skeleton are almost the same, tigers are much larger, by about 10 to 15%. It's like the difference between boxers in different weight categories. Only when these tigers decided that the territory of the enclosure belonged to them completely, they were in for an unpleasant surprise. There is one lion and 2 tigers, but the mighty king of beasts does not care about it. Striped predators can be incredibly strong, but fighting skills and courage turned out to be the lion's trump cards. However, in the wild, the same lions and tigers cannot create married couples. Once their habitat coincided over a fairly large area in India, now there is only one reserve where they can theoretically meet each other. This is the Gierski Forest. There will be no particularly tender feelings between them due to the differences in lifestyle and competition for food. But since tigers prefer dense thickets and lions like plains, they have to fight in exceptional cases. Therefore, it is usually those predators that are kept in captivity that will sort out the relationship. Here, big cats do not compete for food and share a rather cramped space. Tigers have a huge impact force and are able to break a horse's spine. Although the mane gives the lions a more impressive appearance, if we compare only muscle mass, they are inferior to tigers by much. But still, the striped predator is forced to give up and retreat. He really shouldn't have attacked that lion. It was a big mistake to mess with such an incredible opponent. What is the secret of the victory of the King of Beasts? In combat skills, the lion strikes more accurately. His mane plays the role of natural armor. And in addition, this lion is more stable. The tiger tries to dominate, rises on its hind legs, and attacks from above. It would have made another opponent run away in a panic, but the lion is too brave. and the fact that he retains at least 3 points of support and hits with one paw more than often than the other two, this allows him to throw opponents off balance during the offensive and force them to retreat and fall. And who are you rooting for in this fight? Answer in the comments. Mountain eagles are incredibly cool predators that are able to lift a mountain goat several times heavier than themselves, then drop their prey from a mountain ledge. And only then, enjoy lunch. But something has gone wrong here. This ungulate turned out to be too cool of prey, and the eagle is very clearly surprised. He did not expect such a rebuff. Yes, the goat falls, but the bird also falls with it. Their fight at a great height is exciting. A little more, and you might start to feel dizzy. Opponents fall again and again, but the goat does not lose its balance. Now he uses gravity as his ally. The ungulate with acceleration falls directly on the eagle, pinning it to the rock. I think something cracked, but we must give this bird its due. It has not let go of its grip and tries to continue the fight. Another mistake. The goat understands that the victim did not have enough cuffs, so he still throws off the predator and then runs away, and even tramples into the bargain. At the same time, the goat was gladly supported by a relative who also walked on the bird with sharp hooves. Today, the eagle will be left without lunch. Hippos are said to be the most dangerous animals in Africa. Although they seem pretty cute with their big noses, they are actually incredibly vicious critters. This is one of the few territorial herbivore species that fiercely defends their land, like some kind of saber-toothed tiger. A very thick layer of adipose tissue under a strong, smooth, and firm skin plays the role of an almost insurmountable armor. The fangs and claws of many predators just slip off of it. At the same time, the hippopotamus competes with the rhinoceros for the title of the second largest, strongest, and most massive land mammal on the planet after the elephant. To this set of advantages, you need to add huge fangs, each as long as a pirate saber. With them, a hippopotamus can crush bones. In general, as you understand, these animals are doing well with self-confidence. Hippos just are not afraid of anyone. They dictate the conditions on their own territory. Hippos can attack a predator simply because it annoys them. This giant is absolutely not afraid of fighting and seems to be only happy about the opportunity to show his character. But at the same time, the hippopotamus fights very cruelly. He goes to ram, tries to trample, but first of all it bites, crushes with its jaws, and pierces with its fangs. There are a lot of cases of attacks even on motorboats. The hippopotamus easily destroys the wooden hull of a small vessel, and he can also unexpectedly attack a herbivore, which certainly does not threaten him in any way. In general, this bully behaves like a real scumbag. As you understand, such self-confidence could not end well for him. Usually a hippo is not afraid of lions and does not try to escape. Instead, the giant goes on the attack himself. Well, we must admit, the beginning of the fight really took place according to the rules of the hippopotamus. Just look at the monstrous force with which he squeezed the lioness's head in his jaws. It seems like he could swallow her completely, but the strength of the lions is not really in the huge power of the blow or the jaws. By the way, their bite force is not so great. The jaguar bites better. No, the strength of the lions is in the pride. These lionesses can't handle a hippo? Well, 7 predatory cats will take up the case then. 7 can't finish the job either? No problem. A male comes to their aid. There is a stereotype that male lions do not hunt. That's not the case. They simply do not sit in ambush, as their mane immediately betrays a predator in any environment. But if the lionesses have surrounded too strong a prey, the male will definitely come to the rescue. Joint efforts have turned a giant ferocious hippopotamus from a horror movie for all the surrounding swamps into a hearty breakfast for the entire pride.